What's going on, everyone? So we just got some news that Christian Wood is exercising his $3 million option to stick around with the Lakers next season. Now, this is exciting. This is good news. We'll dive more into that more in a moment. But this is something that I expected. I think many of you expected as well. We even talked about it on various live streams, and I even mentioned in a couple videos that I thought Christian Wood, more likely than not, would stick around. Given the injuries that he had last season, them moving off of Darvin Ham, him potentially getting a bigger and better role with a new coach, with his versatility. I talked heavily about how Darvin Ham just really failed to utilize Christian Wood in a manner that really just led to his strengths. Basically, Christian Wood is a guy that he can play inside and is dominant down on the block with his skill set. He can score in a multitude of ways. Oh, and he can step out and shoot the three ball. Darvin Ham did it as he can shoot the three ball. Oh, and on occasion he can go down. It was the opposite with everything, right? So I do think with a new coach, more opportunity, I think he can be a guy that really thrives. His versatility to be able to play the 5, play the 4, even in some matchups, in some cases, play the 3. We even saw that briefly last year. And his market, he's not going to get much more, if anything, than the $3 million from the Lakers. So it just, to me, was a no-brainer that he sticks around. Big thing about this, though, and one of the things that I have tried to highlight on the occasions that I have mentioned Christian Wood, is Rui Hachimura very likely gets traded this offseason, and thus Christian Wood becomes that much more important, right? Because, again, Rui, he's not a 3. Darvin Ham kept utilizing him and putting him as a 3. Rui Hachimura is another player that I talked heavily about how I really disliked the way that Darvin Ham utilized Rui, put him in spots. He, yes, was much improved shooting the 3 ball this year, and on occasion looked good at the 3, but for the most part, his most success was at the 4. All the games that he dominated were when LeBron was out and he got the opportunity to slide over to the 4 because he's a 4. He's not a twitchy, athletic 3. He's a bulky, physical, low post type 4, who also many people talk about, Rui's lack of rebounding. Well, when he's the 3 out on the perimeter, his rebounds, of course, drop. But you look at Rui when he's playing the 4 and you look at those numbers, he's almost like 3 rebounds better a game as the 4. And that's in limited role, limited opportunity at times. So I think that, one, I'd like to see Rui stick around, but I just think Lakers are going to go make some moves, going to go make some trades to try to go get some perimeter guys, very likely a star, whether it's Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell. I understand a lot of people don't really want a star. It's the Lakers. If the Lakers have a real opportunity to go get that 3rd star, they're going to do it, right? Because they're not just thinking about right now. They're thinking also post-LeBron James, right? To get the foundation in place now while LeBron or when LeBron leaves, while they have Anthony Davis. So if they can go get a Trae Young, well, it's like, okay, we have Trae, we have Anthony Davis. Okay, great. Now we just need to put the other pieces around it. That's what they're going to do. And more likely than not, you're going to end up having to trade Rui. So now if Rui's gone, that opens up so much more for Christian Wood, because now if LeBron misses a game, Christian Wood can step in, be your starting 4 alongside Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis misses a game. I hope we have a center, like a Valanciunas or something like that steps up and plays the 5 in his spots. But that would also open up more minutes for Christian Wood, because now he can not only play the 4, but he could also back up at the 5 if Anthony Davis misses a game here and there. And then again, in certain matchups, you can throw Christian Wood out on the perimeter. I really wanted to see Darvin Ham throw Christian Wood on Michael Porter Jr. in the more recent matchup, right, against the Nuggets, because his size and his length, and we saw Christian Wood's ability to defend and do excellent. I mean, he did an excellent job clamping up Kevin Durant. So I was like it can't be worse than what's happening right now. Michael Porter Jr. is already torching everybody, but Christian Wood's size and his length, him being 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan, I think may have been able to disrupt Michael Porter Jr. a little much. But that's already came and went. That's gone. But I do like the idea of Christian Wood sticking around. It's something that I talked about, right? I do think we retain most of the guys. I think Taurean Prince ends up sticking around, said Christian Wood. I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer Dinwiddie sticks around, which I wouldn't mind, but we'll see. To me, it just depends on what offers is he getting. If somebody offers him like 10, 15, 20 million, I think he's gone. But if it's something like, we'll give you, like the taxpayer mid-level, then I think that he might just go, I might as well just stay here for 3 million or whatever, right? Just stick around with the Lakers and see what he can do with the new head coach. But sticking with Christian Wood, right? I just think he's a guy that gives you some insurance, right, for any potential moves that you plan on making, right? But he's also a guy that he's capable of having an impact on the basketball court. He's a guy that can rebound the basketball, that can pass the basketball. He had some excellent just out of post pass sequence and just dumping down to cutters and stuff. He's a guy that, again, can stretch the floor. I don't want him basically only being a floor stretcher, but on occasion, him being able to draw out the big man out on the perimeter and get a shot up, I do think goes a long way, right? Having that stretch. Look at like Naz Reid. Now, not saying that Christian Wood is not, I mean, Naz Reid is just A1, but he could play in that similar mold, right? Where Naz will be on the block at times, but he's also out on the perimeter and can knock down the three ball. But he also is down there blocking shots, playing defense. He can switch out on the perimeter at times. All those things Christian Wood can do. Christian Wood could step out, knock down the three ball. He can be down on the low block. He can come and block shots at the rim. He's not a great on an island defender, but he's an excellent help defender, and he's good in the pick and roll, and he's good defending out on the perimeter because he understands how to use his length. So you've seen him have some real effects defending guys even quicker, twitchier than he is, because he kind of just gives that space, gives that that distance, and then uses that 7'3" wingspan to kind of close out if the guy takes the shot. If they try to beat him off the dribble, well, he's created enough space to where he can, shuffle his feet well enough to where he can stay in front of guys. So if you have defensive players that can kind of funnel the offensive guy into Christian Wood, then him as that, line of defense shot blocker, he's capable of doing that. So I just like the versatility if you have a coach that understands and can properly get the most out of him. I'm not saying he's a guy that has to play 35 minutes a game, but I'm saying 20 minutes a game to relieve Anthony Davis, relieve LeBron James at times, right? He can play all those positions. It's good to have guys that can fill in multiple positions and multiple roles, right? And then if you do trade a Rui Hachimura, again, going back to the insurance, then now you don't have to worry about now we need to get a backup power forward, or now we need to get somebody that can kind of fill in and play the Rui role. It's no, you already have that. You have Christian Wood. So you don't have as much concern of Rui, if you ship out Rui, of now that's another piece we have to get back. Again, let's say, just an example, but let's say they do trade for Trae Young, right? It's okay, well now, not only do we need, some athleticism out on the perimeter, we need some defense, but now we could use another backup power forward, we need a backup center. It's well, now you just got one of those things checked off the list, right? Christian Wood coming off the bench as the 5, as the 4, boom. He's going to get more opportunity, more minutes, more of a role, just by process of elimination from trading Rui Hachimura. I think that he can thrive in those positions. Look, I was excited when the Lakers signed Christian Wood because I know the player he can be. I mean, dating back to UNLV, right? He's a guy that I think fits exactly what the Lakers should, in theory, right? Exactly what you need alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis as far as a backup versatile big that can stretch the floor. I just think Darvin Ham did a terrible job utilizing Christian Wood and playing him in a proper space. Right? Darvin Ham played Christian Wood like he was a 2 guard at times more than it was he's a power forward center. Right? How many times is he just standing at the top of the key on offense and even defense at times? It's just no, you put him down low, right? The beauty is that he can, right? If you're running some actions or something where, you're trying to draw out the big man, then fine. But if all Christian Wood is doing is just standing out on the perimeter and he's yes, he can shoot, but unless he's hot, Right? He's not giving you some crazy offensive efficiency. Right? Like, yeah, maybe he hits a 3 or 2. So it's like, oh, well, he only gets you 6 points. Like, well, yeah, because he only gets 2 attempts per game, and they're all from 3-point range. Right? So he's got to go perfect from the field if he's going to really have an offensive impact. But it's all the other things that I think he does. Right? I do. I really like Christian Wood on this roster. I liked him when we first signed him. I just thought Darvin Ham was going to utilize him better and put him in better positions, and he just never did. Right? So hopefully whoever the new head coach is can kind of, again, I'm not saying you run all of your offense through him. I'm not even saying he has to necessarily be a 17-point-a-game guy like he was the previous year before he came to the Lakers. But to me, there's no reason he shouldn't be at least double digits. There's no reason to me that he shouldn't be giving you 10 to 15 a game if he's properly utilized, right? There's so many times the offense just gets stagnant, right? It happens to all teams, not even just the Lakers, but the Lakers this season in particular, right? Happened a lot. And it's like you have guys like Rui, you have guys like Christian Wood. Why aren't you putting them on the block, dump the ball down to them and saying, go get a bucket, right? Like, I'd rather that than us just jacking up a bunch of threes, right? At least you get to see the ball go through the hoop. So, I don't know. Again, we'll see how that goes. But I'm glad, personally, Christian Wood is sticking around. As always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like the idea of Christian Wood returning? Are you upset? Do you think like, nah, like he should have left, should have kicked rocks? I mean, $3 million, right? I mean, he's making a vet minimum, is what it is, right? Like the Lakers are basically relegated to the taxpayer mid-level and vet minimums anyway. So you just got another guy that at least is on the bench, right? Like you got another guy that is capable of playing NBA basketball, and when he's utilized correctly, can be a good quality player. Like, I like that signing no matter what, but do you feel the same way? Again, love to hear it. Let me know. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.